October 1st, 2017, Las Vegas, Nevada. The lights of the Las Vegas Strip stretched across the desert like a sea of diamonds. Thousands of tourists filled the streets. Casinos buzzed with excitement, and country music echoed through the warm night air. At the Route 91 Harvest Festival, more than 20,000 people had gathered for the final night of one of America's biggest country music events. Friends laughed together. Families recorded videos on their phones, and fans sang along with every song, believing they were about to end the weekend with unforgettable memories. No one imagined that within minutes, those memories would turn into one of the darkest nights in modern American history. At exactly 10:05 p.m., the joyful music was interrupted by a rapid series of loud sounds. At first, many people believed they were hearing fireworks or part of the concert. Some even continued dancing, unaware of what was actually happening. Then people began to fall. The sounds grew louder. Panic spread across the crowd. Thousands of people started running in every direction, searching for safety as confusion overwhelmed the festival grounds. The bright lights that had symbolized celebration only moments earlier now illuminated a scene of unimaginable chaos. This was not an accident. It was the deadliest mass shooting committed by a lone gunman in modern United States history. Welcome back to MystoReveal. Some stories are mysteries, some are history, and some changed the world forever. To understand how this tragedy unfolded, we first need to go back to the days before October 1st. Las Vegas is known around the world as the entertainment capital of the world. Every year, millions of visitors travel there to experience its casinos, concerts, luxury hotels, and non-stop nightlife. Among the city's most popular annual events was the Route 91 Harvest Festival, a three-day country music festival held just off the famous Las Vegas Strip. Thousands of fans from across the United States attended every year to enjoy performances by some of country music's biggest stars. The venue itself was an open-air concert ground surrounded by hotels and busy streets. One of those hotels overlooked the festival from above the Mandalay Bay Resort and Casino, a luxury hotel standing more than 40 stories tall. Guests staying there enjoyed panoramic views of the city, and many rooms overlooked the concert venue below. Several days before the attack, a man named Stephen Paddock checked into the hotel as an ordinary guest. Nothing about his arrival appeared unusual. He interacted politely with hotel staff, used luggage carts to bring bags into his suite over multiple trips, and spent several days inside the hotel. According to the official investigation, Paddock had reserved a suite on the 32nd floor with windows facing directly toward the festival grounds. Over the following days, he brought numerous suitcases into the room without attracting significant attention. Hotel surveillance cameras later showed him making repeated trips through the corridors and elevators inside the suite. Investigators later discovered that he had assembled a large number of firearms and ammunition. He had also positioned cameras in and around the hallway outside his room, allowing him to monitor anyone approaching. Authorities believe these cameras were intended to provide advance warning if someone came toward the suite. Meanwhile, completely unaware of what was happening above them, thousands of concertgoers enjoyed the final performances of the festival. Food vendors served long lines of customers. Friends recorded videos for social media. Children sat on their parents' shoulders to watch the stage. The atmosphere was filled with music, cheering, and celebration. On stage, country music star Jason Aldean was performing to an energetic crowd. The audience clapped, danced, and sang along as the concert approached its final songs. High above them, inside the Mandalay Bay suite, Stephen Paddock was making his final preparations. At approximately 10:05 p.m., gunfire suddenly erupted from the hotel. The first burst lasted only a few seconds. Many people looked toward the stage, believing the sounds were fireworks or part of the show. Some musicians briefly paused, confused by what they were hearing. Then another burst followed. This time, people began screaming. Within moments, thousands realized they were under attack. Concertgoers dropped to the ground, hid behind barriers, or ran desperately toward exits. Others searched frantically for friends and family members as the crowd scattered in every direction. Cell phones fell to the ground. Shoes were left behind as people fled. The festival transformed from a celebration into a scene of fear and confusion within seconds. Police officers working at the event immediately began directing people towards safety while trying to determine where the gunfire was coming from. Because the shots were being fired from high above, identifying the exact location proved extremely difficult. Las Vegas Metropolitan Police officers radioed emergency dispatchers as reports flooded in from every direction. Some witnesses believed there were multiple shooters. Others reported hearing gunfire from different locations because the sound echoed between nearby buildings. The confusion made the situation even more challenging for first responders. Ambulances, police units, and firefighters rushed toward the festival grounds while hospitals across Las Vegas activated emergency plans in preparation for a large number of casualties. As officers secured the area, specialized tactical units began searching nearby buildings. One location quickly became the focus of their attention: the Mandalay Bay Hotel. Some witnesses had reported seeing flashes from one of the upper floors, and investigators were beginning to suspect that the shots had originated from high above the concert, but they still didn't know exactly which room. Every passing minute mattered. The gunfire had finally stopped, but authorities faced a terrifying question. Was the shooter still inside the hotel waiting? The sound of gunfire had finally stopped, but for thousands of people across Las Vegas, the nightmare was far from over. As police officers secured the Route 91 Harvest Festival, specialized SWAT teams continued moving through the Mandalay Bay Resort and Casino. They still didn't know whether there was only one attacker or if others were hiding somewhere inside the massive hotel. Every room, hallway, and stairwell had to be treated as a potential threat. Hotel guests were ordered to remain inside their rooms while heavily armed. Officers searched floor after floor. Confusion spread throughout the building. Emergency radio channels were filled with urgent messages as officers coordinated their movements, trying to prevent another attack. When tactical officers finally reached the 32nd floor, they located the suite from which the gunfire had originated. The hallway outside showed signs that someone had been carefully monitoring anyone approaching. According to the official investigation, surveillance cameras had been placed outside the room to give the suspect advance warning if police came near. Before the SWAT team reached the suite, a hotel security officer responding to reports of a damaged door in the hallway encountered gunfire and was seriously injured. Despite his injuries, he managed to alert responding officers to the exact location of the shooter. His actions played an important role in helping police identify the correct room. Within minutes, additional tactical units surrounded the suite. No one knew whether explosives had been placed inside. No one knew how many people were in the room. Every officer understood that the next few seconds could determine the outcome of the operation using explosives. The SWAT team forced its way into the room. Inside, they discovered Stephen Paddock, dead from what investigators later concluded was a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Although the immediate danger had ended, what officers found inside the suite was unlike anything they had expected. Investigators recovered numerous firearms, thousands of rounds of ammunition, magazines, surveillance cameras, electronic devices, and other evidence spread throughout the room. Broken windows overlooked the concert venue nearly 30 floors below, giving investigators a clear understanding of how the attack had been carried out. Outside the hotel, the scale of the tragedy continued to unfold. Hospitals across Las Vegas declared mass casualty. Emergencies ambulances arrived, one after another, carrying victims from the concert grounds. Doctors, nurses, surgeons, and emergency medical teams worked continuously without rest. Blood donation centers quickly filled with volunteers determined to help complete strangers. Acts of extraordinary courage appeared everywhere. Police officers repeatedly entered dangerous areas searching for injured civilians. Paramedics treated victims while gunfire was still being reported. Concertgoers helped carry wounded strangers to safety. Some used fences to shield others. Others gave up their own vehicles to transport the injured when ambulances could not arrive quickly enough. Throughout the night, countless ordinary people became heroes. As dawn approached, investigators officially began one of the largest criminal investigations in modern American history. The FBI joined local law enforcement along with numerous federal agencies. Hundreds of investigators were assigned to the case. Every piece of evidence recovered from the hotel suite was photographed, labeled, and transported to forensic laboratories. Hotel surveillance footage covering several days was reviewed frame by frame. Investigators examined when the suspect checked into the hotel, how often he entered and left his room, how he transported luggage, and whether anyone had assisted him financially. Records were collected, travel history was analyzed, cell phone data was examined, computers and electronic storage devices were sent to forensic experts. Search warrants were executed at multiple properties connected to Stephen Paddock. Every document, receipt, and electronic device became part of the investigation. Authorities also interviewed hotel employees, concert staff, family members, neighbors, former co-workers, and anyone who might help explain what had happened. As investigators reconstructed the timeline, they discovered that the attack had not been spontaneous. According to the official investigation, the planning had taken place over an extended period. The suspect had carefully selected the hotel room, transported numerous suitcases over several days without raising significant suspicion, and positioned surveillance cameras to monitor anyone approaching the suite. Each new discovery demonstrated how carefully the attack had been prepared, yet despite uncovering more evidence, investigators still faced the most difficult question of all: what had motivated Stephen Paddock to carry out one of the deadliest mass shootings in modern American history? Investigators searched for connections to terrorist organizations. They examined possible financial motives. They looked into personal disputes, political beliefs, online activity, medical history, and psychological factors. Millions of people around the world expected investigators to uncover a clear explanation. Instead, the case became even more puzzling with every new lead that was investigated. Another question appeared as weeks passed. Investigators continued collecting evidence from across multiple states, hoping that somewhere among thousands of documents and digital records they would finally discover the answer everyone was searching for. But what the FBI would eventually announce surprised not only investigators, but the entire world. As investigators continued examining thousands of pieces of evidence, the question everyone wanted answered remained the same: why did Stephen Paddock do it? The FBI assigned hundreds of agents, analysts, forensic experts, and intelligence specialists to the case. They examined virtually every aspect of his life: his computers, mobile phones, internet searches, financial transactions, travel history, medical records, hotel stays, and personal relationships were all carefully reviewed. His homes in Nevada were searched from top to bottom. Every document was examined. Every hard drive was analyzed. Every possible lead was investigated. Authorities interviewed family members, former co-workers, neighbors, casino employees, hotel staff, and anyone who might provide insight into his behavior before the attack. Investigators hoped that somewhere among thousands of documents and digital records they would discover a clear explanation. But they didn't. The investigation concluded that Stephen Paddock had acted alone, and officials stated that they found no evidence that he was directed by or acting on behalf of an international terrorist organization. Despite one of the largest investigations in FBI history, authorities were unable to identify a single definitive motive for the attack. That conclusion surprised the world. People expected a clear answer. Instead, one of the biggest questions surrounding the tragedy remains unanswered. Even today, the attack claimed the lives of 60 people who died from the shooting, or later from injuries related to it, while hundreds of others suffered gunshot wounds, and many more were injured during the chaotic evacuation. Behind every number was a real person: a husband who never returned home, a daughter attending her first music festival, friends celebrating a weekend together, parents who had planned nothing more than an evening of music, lives that changed forever in just a few terrifying minutes. Yet amid the tragedy, stories of incredible courage emerged. Police officers ran toward danger while everyone else was trying to escape. Firefighters entered areas where they believed another attack might still be taking place. Doctors and nurses worked continuously for hours, treating victims without stopping. Concertgoers risked their own lives to carry injured strangers away from the line of fire. Some used their bodies to protect loved ones. Others returned repeatedly into dangerous areas searching for people they had never met. Taxi drivers and local residents offered free transportation to hospitals. Hotels opened their doors to people separated from family members. Blood donation centers quickly filled with volunteers waiting in long lines to help complete strangers. During one of the darkest nights in American history, countless ordinary people demonstrated extraordinary courage. The tragedy also changed how authorities approached security at large public events. Law enforcement agencies across the United States reviewed emergency response plans. Many outdoor concerts, sporting events, and festivals introduced stronger security measures. Additional surveillance, improved communication systems, and more detailed emergency evacuation procedures. The attack also renewed national discussions about public safety, emergency preparedness, and ways to reduce the risk of future mass casualty incidents. Although opinions differed on many issues, nearly everyone agreed on one thing: the victims deserved to be remembered. Today, a permanent memorial stands in Las Vegas to honor those who lost their lives and the many survivors forever affected by that night. Every year, families, survivors, emergency responders, and members of the community gathered to remember the victims. Flowers, candles, photographs, and personal messages remind visitors that behind every headline was a human story. For many survivors, healing has been a long journey. Some continue recovering from physical injuries. Others live with emotional trauma that cannot be seen. Many families still struggle with the loss of loved ones years later. Their stories continue to inspire compassion, resilience, and unity. The events of October 1st, 2017 remain one of the darkest chapters in modern American history. It serves as a reminder that acts of violence leave scars that extend far beyond the moment they occur. Communities may rebuild, buildings may be repaired, but the memories remain. History remembers the date. Families remember the names and the courage shown by first responders. Medical teams, volunteers, and ordinary citizens reminds us that even during humanity's darkest moments, kindness and bravery continue to shine. Thank you for joining us on this journey through history. This documentary is dedicated to the memory of all those who lost their lives, to the survivors, and to the first responders whose courage helped save countless others. This is MystoReveal. Some stories are mysteries, some are history, and some changed the world forever. If you enjoyed this documentary, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to MystoReveal for more true crime, historical events, unsolved mysteries, and documentaries from around the world. Until next time, stay curious, stay informed, and keep uncovering the truth.